I've always been very, very intrigued that why do 95% of CEOs fail to grow their business? 17% grow at a very slow pace, 48% get stuck on a break even for a long time, 11% get into a debt trap, and 19% go bankrupt. As I was pondering about this, I came across a book on the inner game of golf by Tim Gallwey. He had written the first book on the inner game of tennis. The basic premise of his finding is that a person excels in his sport when his inner game is aligned with his outer game. And if there's no alignment in inner game and outer game, some of the most gifted of players who excel in the outer game, but when it comes into tournament conditions, they falter and they fail because the inner game doesn't support them. So that was a very interesting, very intriguing subject. So I started researching, and what I found is that almost everything that we are offered from literature and management, training, coaching, etc., helps us to focus on the outer game of business. And predominantly the outer game of business is very easy to look at in terms of strategy, sales, execution, people, and cash. And the whole idea is that you start taking higher quality of decisions in these 5 areas, that's going to define your success. But if every person takes very high quality decisions in these 5 areas, then every person needs to be able to succeed in growing up. But here we have the reverse. 95% of very intelligent, very capable business owners fail to grow. So I started thinking that maybe it has more to do with the inner game than the outer game. And when I started looking at the inner game, I found things like uncertainty, frustration, anxiety, and feeling stuck. And these 4 control the life force of the business owner and sap him of energy, increase stress, release stress hormones, with the result that it impacts the quality of decisions and makes him falter at the crucial point where he's got to decide, do I persevere with this strategy or do I pivot? When it's time to pivot, he perseveres. When it's time to persevere, he pivots. And it confuses everybody. And with the result that it's a very bumpy ride. And that bumpy ride leads to this dismal statistic of 95% of CEOs fail to grow their business.